Welcome to R&D, a fashion channel that gives you a behind-the-scenes look at various industry jobs. Each episode, we feature different professionals and artists highlighting their role in the fascinating process of making garments.
We had the pleasure of stepping into Lynne Carter's atelier to see how she works. Lynne works with a unique process of drafting a pattern on paper, then draping the paper pattern on the form. Watch and listen as she explains the reasoning behind this method.
Hi, my name is Lynne Carter. I am a master pattern maker and a couture dress creator.
So, draping.
Yeah, basically we're gonna start with muslin. I'm gonna use the muslin to drape the corset. And then once I do that, I take my muslin pieces off and I check them on dotted paper. I create the pattern, but then I also take the paper pattern and I double check it on the form. So I make sure that I like the fit and everything's how I want it to be. And then from there, that's when I proceed to the draping. So next I'm going to go ahead and drape the skirt. When I'm draping, I always drape half, and it doesn't matter which half you drape. You can do whichever you feel comfortable with. If the style is asymmetric, then you do need to drape the full item. This particular dress is going to be asymmetric, but the foundation is going to be symmetric. So I am going to start by doing half a drape, but then move into the over charmeuse draping pieces.
Do you always drape in muslin first?
I like to drape in muslin because muslin is really rigid and it is not that pretty. So I find if you can make it work and make it look good in muslin, it's going to look great. And this is what I refer to as the base of the dress. You could make this into a dress all on its own if you wanted, or you could add other layers to it, like the draping. Now I take the pattern pieces, the muslin pattern pieces, and I transfer all of the markings to pattern paper. And this is where I begin the process of creating my pattern. And then once I do that, I'm gonna drape the pattern paper back on the form, because that really shows you if your pattern is as perfect as it can possibly be. This is so cool. But like as I pin it on, I can see in my back hip, I need to, right here, I could tell it's a little too tight. I'm gonna let it out just a little right here.
So you're just moving the pin?
Yeah, I'm gonna move the pin and I'll go ahead and when I'm all done, use my marker. Right here, I don't like the fact that that's going, like if you come to the side, this is straight and then it goes forward. I don't want that. So I'm gonna move that like this. That is an exact example of, you know, just your hands can manipulate the fabric, and it might appear that it's perfectly on the side, but then it gets moved. And right here, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna pinch in under the bust more, because if you have a fitted gown, it's always nice to fit real snug just under the bust, because it kind of has like a cupping feature. Part of the corset's going to actually be exposed, and then part of it is going to be draped. And in the end, we're going to combine this beautiful purple color with this vintage scarf that we found. And I think like having this as the corset with just peeking out in sections and then this draped on top, I think it'll be really, really like a very rich, decadent, luxurious look. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, what I'm going to start with, is I am going to pin this on the form. What I'm trying to do is determine, yeah, exactly, how much is going to peek through and help figure out the placement of the scarf and the placement of the drape. So it's really just going to kind of hang here to get a visual. I'm not going to drape in the actual fabric, we're going to save that, but this is left over from a project a long time ago, and it is actually silk crepe, which is very expensive to be draping in.
I know.
But like I said, it's left over and we've had it for a long time. So one of the things I was playing around with on this concept is having it, since this is going to be asymmetric, we're going to have the scarf here and then some draping, possibly playing around with having one side have a sleeve.
You make draping look so easy.
I really think that you just have to kind of pay attention to what the fabric wants to do. So I think when you kind of work with fabrics and let them do what they were kind of engineered to do, I think you get your best results. So this is basically the start of what I want to do. And I would go ahead and what I use is I have disappearing ink pins. From here, just go ahead and like mark my drape. So then I could transfer it onto the pattern paper, and then you can just steam this right out so you don't like ruin the fabric.
Magic.
Yeah, and then that would be basically the start. I would figure out where the draping is going to be, and then figure out like what parts are exposed, and I would add lines on my original pattern showing, you know, like this is where the drape is going to align.
Oh my God, I forgot that the pattern paper is under there. What's your next step?
I would finish the pattern and then have it cut, and then sewing